and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. So, the MV Cargo Star has resumed cargo operation on the sea bridge after completing its scheduled dry docking and upgrading in Karaku. The Trinidad and Tobago Inter-Island Transportation Company confirmed the vessel's return and reclassification. While the Cargo Star began service, passengers, ferry likes the APT James, the Boko Reef, and TNT Spirit, also the Galleon Passage, will no longer carry heavy vehicle over 3,600 kilogram or vehicle without drivers. During the Cargo Star absence, the MV Emperor was brought in temporarily to support cargo transport. So viewers, MV Cargo Star is back in action to transport cargo from Trinidad to Tobago. Glad to hear that. Is Trinidad and Tobago going to see problems exporting to the US? The Trinidad and Tobago is bracing for a potential economic blow as the United States ramp up tariff on local export to 15%, triggering fears of reduced competitiveness, shrinking foreign exchange inflows, and hit to the manufacturing and energy sector. With the new tariff set to take place on Thursday, the government has rushed to establish an interministerial committee to chart a response and a way forward as key industries such as methanol, ammonia, and perhaps urea faces uncertainty in critical US market. They are set to meet on Thursday. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa has ordered an urgent review, warning that an increased levy from 10% in April could have serious short and long-term consequences in the economy. On Thursday, US President Donald Trump set a 15% tariff on imports from Trinidad and Tobago under a new executive order titled Further Modifying Reciprocal Tariff Rates. Economist Professor Roger Hussein stated that the tariff should have served as a walk-in or wake-up call for the government to reform local trade and export policies.
With some exports away from the US market towards the Caribbean market, also Aruba, Curacao, and St. Martin. These countries have very, very high per capita GDP, close to 40,000 US per annum in the case of St. Martin, and these are lucrative markets that our small exporters can target with or without the support of the TTMA, but I recommend that they go the route of working with the TTMA.
Meanwhile, Chairman of Regional Business Chamber, Vivek Charan, says there is no need to panic. Listen to this.
I don't think that the answer to the 15% tariff levied on Trinidad and Tobago exports into America should cause us, to retaliate in any form or fashion. I see that some people are causing a retaliatory sort of, measure. I don't believe that we should be hot-headed about it, simply because we still have some areas of competitiveness given the fact that the tariff that have been levied by the new American administration has been done so widely and globally. So it doesn't put us really in a better or worse position than any other country.
So viewers, we are going to do some digging on this and we're going to let you know more on our show later on this week. So other news now, viewers. Leading culture stalwarts are calling for a national award to honor the late 68 years old independent senator and National Council of Indian Culture President Teemal, who died in his sleep on Sunday. Condolences to the family. Tributes pour in from national leaders, colleagues, and culture advocates, remembering him as a patriot, principled, and deeply committed public servant who contributed significantly to Parliament and Indo-Trinidadian culture. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisasa hailed Teemal as a devoted patriot and culture stalwart, praising his leadership in the NCIC and in the Senate. Teemal was a civil and structural engineer with over 37 years experience and served in the 11th and 13th Republican Parliament. His passing is being widely mourned as a major loss to both the culture and political fabric of Trinidad and Tobago. So family from Real Talk Studios, condolences to the family of the passing of a great icon in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, in Trinidad, this is what is taking place. Senator Anthony Vieira said political harassment may have impacted Teemal's health, drawing criticism from UNC members, including Mr. Barry Patharat and the UNC Pro, Dr. Kirk Mehuru, who accused him of politicizing the debt. It's sad, you know. It's sad. In a tribute, Vieira described Teemal as a model independent senator, saying his contribution were consistently substantive, while reasoned and entirely free from partisan posturing. However, Public Utility Minister Barry Patharat accused Vieira of politicizing Teemal's debt in an attempt to use the passing to create discord. The government issued a release on Sunday calling Senator Vieira's statement tasteless, offensive, and self-serving. It said what should have been a solemn tribute to a departed colleague turned into a shameful, used platform to needless deepen political division and advance his personal politics or political vendetta and narrative. I'm going to tell you something, eh? Whether it be PNM, whether it be UNC, whether it be independent senators, whether it be ministers in parliament, when you die, or when your life leaves your body, there's no politics to that. There's no game to that. There's no right time and no wrong time. You die and you die. You die and you die. So nobody can say it was this and it was that and it was the next and was no. Your time reach and that's it. That time is where your clock stops. Not somebody else's clock, yours. So politicizing debt, nah. It makes no sense. No sense. Because everyone that has been appointed to everyone in this place we call Earth. Always remember that. Moving along tonight, viewers. The president of the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association, Martin Lumpkin, has stated that although teachers were not consulted on the government's decision to extend the July-August vacation, the move is being welcomed. Lumpkin said that the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association was not consulted prior to the decision and acknowledged the potential benefit of the additional rest period.
Usually the longest term, of the 3 terms, and by the end of the term, our educators and students are burnt out. So we are emphatically in agreement with the Honorable Minister when it comes to that.
Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlett have since announced that school will now reopen on September 8th, effectively extending the vacation period by 1 week. Dowlett said the adjustment was made to ensure a more balanced distribution of work across the school term.
The Cabinet has approved an extension of the vacation period by 1 week, and so the first term school will now be open on the 8th of September 2025. And the reason for this is that when we looked at the previous schedule, the first term would have had 15 weeks, the second term 12 weeks, and the third term 12 weeks. And what we did was to balance the distribution, because the first term is normally the longest one and everybody gets burned out, the teachers and the students and the parents. And the total number of weeks for the first term, second and third term will be 39 weeks, so no teaching will be lost.
Lumpkin added that he is eagerly awaiting the Ministry of Education's official memorandum, which is expected to outline the revised term dates for the 2025-2026 academic year. So I'm guessing the children are probably happy that they have another year, another week to play with. Nevertheless, parents have to sacrifice 1 week more. Hold strain, as the former Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, would say, hold strain. Nevertheless. Transport and Civil Aviation Minister Eli Zukur has announced that as of Sunday, 13 July 2025, all demerit points were removed from the electronic night schedule register. Therefore, a ticket shall reflect 0. Listen to this.
3 weeks ago, I signed the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Amendment to the 9th Schedule Order 2025, removing the demerit points from all traffic violations except for the 6 criminal offences. Legal notice number 237 was published in the Gazette on July 11, 2025. As of 12 a.m. on Sunday, the 13th of July 2025, all demerit points were removed from the electronic 9th Schedule register. Persons receiving fixed penalty tickets thereafter, the points associated with the violation will reflect 0 on the ticket.
So Trinidad and Tobago, well done. Well done. Zachar said, there is currently one rehab program at a cost of $1,200. Listen to this,
However, there are persons who are currently disqualified. The suspension period for those persons is between 6 months to 2 years. At the end of the suspension period, persons are required to participate in a rehabilitation program in keeping with Section 88N of the Act. Currently, there are 2 approved organizations offering the program at a cost of over $1,200. I am happy to report there is now another option.
So viewers, he stated that more than 700 disqualified drivers across Trinidad and Tobago will now be given a second chance to regain their permit. The opportunity comes at a reduced cost. A second 2.5 weeks rehabilitation center. It's 2.5 weeks rehabilitation center. The minister announced that the initiative will be rolled out at the county licensing office and other facilities across the country, offering drivers a structured pathway to regain their permits. So Trinidad and Tobago, I will advise you to go to the county licensing office. Take advantage of it. The minister explained that a program for disqualified drivers will commence next month, free of charge. However, a fee of reissue for the driver's permit will still apply. Listen to this.
However, there are persons who are currently disqualified. The suspension period for those persons is between 6 months to 2 years. At the end of the suspension period, persons are required to participate in a rehabilitation program in keeping with Section 88N of the Act. Currently, there are 2 approved organizations offering the program at a cost of over $1,200. I am happy to report there is now another option.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the program will start around August 18, 2025. It's a 2.5-week rehabilitation program. One of the program is rolled out at the county licensing office. The other, and others across the country, hopefully they will come in effect on the 18th of August. So viewers, there is a fee that you will have to pay. There is a fee to reissue. I believe that, I don't know the cost of it as yet, but hopefully by tomorrow we will get more information on it and we will share it with you. $1,200 to reissue. Not a problem. So viewers, there you have it. So at least Trinidad and Tobago citizens could rest assured you will get back your driver's permit. It's not like the former regime where you just get banned, you had to stay home and look for another work. No, it's not like that. You're going to get back your permit. It's good news. It's good news. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, WASA. Oh, good. We're going to talk about WASA. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to love this, when we come back.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over, with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So viewers, WASA in the headline, you'll be amazed. Even I was surprised. What was Marvin Gonzalez doing in WASA? This is my main question. What was Marvin Gonzalez doing as the Public Utility Minister for WASA? Why am I saying this, viewers? Listen. The Minister of Public Utility, Barry Patharad, has announced that the Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA, has been granted a 1-year moratorium by Environmental Management Authority, the EMA, temporarily averting a potential $35 million annual fine for non-compliance at the Beetham wastewater treatment plant. So let's just say WASA have 1 year in order to get their act together. Otherwise, they will be fined $35 million for non-compliance. What was Marvin Gonzalez doing as the Minister of Public Utility for WASA? The moratorium gives WASA a critical window to upgrade the aging facility to avoid the costly penalty tied to persistent violation related to effluent discharge. So what was Marvin Gonzalez doing? What was he heading? I'm asking this question. I'm asking Marvin this question. Acting CEO Jovan Joseph said the plant commissioned in 2004 has deteriorated with an estimated $175 million in refurbishment needed to meet environmental standard. How much did they spend to upgrade WASA, Marvin said? Where did all that money go, Marvin? Now, listen to this, neglected maintenance between 2015 and 2025 has led to multiple process fail, increasing the risk. Multiple process failures, increasing the risk of harmful effluent discharge. Patharad has asked the board of WASA to ensure that effects are mitigated in those areas. Listen to this.
This was a matter that was left to languish for about 5 to 7 years by the former administration. And in light of that, we are taking immediate steps to have the matter addressed. I do recognize the challenges that it poses to the residents on the Beatum, and therefore I've asked the acting CEO and board of WASA to move expeditiously to ensure that we mitigate any sort of effects it may have on those.
So Trinidad and Tobago, let's listen to this. Over the years, residents lodged complaints about overflow to former Lavantil West MP Fitzgerald Hines and former Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez. Trinidad and Tobago, this is coming from citizens. They lodge complaints to Fitzgerald Hines, to Marvin Gonzalez. And you know what them do? You want to know what the ministers do? Listen. However, Gonzalez indicated that repair works were conducted on a ruptured sewer lines and pointed to a massive Beatum wastewater scandal under a former UNC administration. So Trinidad and Tobago, after 10 years of the PNM being in power, Marvin Gonzalez still blames the UNC. How shameful. How shameful. Marvin, how shameful is this? I want to ask you this. How shameful is this? You in power, your party in power, you holding portfolios for 10 years up the road. But yet Marvin, you blame the UNC for 11 years backward. How possible is this? I know Dr. Rowley used to always blame Kamala Prasad Bisesa. He ruled the PNM party for 9.5 years. And for straight up until the man resigned from politics, he blamed Kamala. Down the line, you blame Kamala, you blame Kamala, you blame Kamala. Kamala was there for 5 years. UNC was there for 5 years, 2010 to 2015. From 2015 to 2025, the PNM was in power and they blamed Kamala for... Kamala was only there for 5 years. You all were there for 10 solid years and blamed the UNC. Imagine that. What did you produce in 10 years? If you pull back from 2010 to 2015, you can actually see what UNC did in 5 years. And let's start from 2015 to 2025 and ask yourself what the PNM did. So Marvin Gonzalez is no different from Dr. Keith Rowley, who blamed the UNC. Marvin there for 10 years, but blamed the UNC. I wonder if Marvin fall on a bricky foot, if you'd have blamed the UNC. I wonder, Marvin, if your car got an accident, you'd have blamed the UNC. I wonder if you eat stone in your rice, you would have blamed the UNC. I wonder if your shrimps had too much salt in it, or your chicken in barbecue too much, you would have blamed the UNC. You know what they call this? This is pure stupidity. Pure, raw stupidity. From big men who hold portfolios in administration that govern in Trinidad and Tobago. For 9 years, 9.5 consecutive years, all I blame UNC. UNC was the opposition. UNC was there for 5 years, but all I blame them for 10 years. It's a stinking disgrace to see how educated man who sits in a chair for 10 years of power but blaming our government for 5 years of work. It's sad, you know, Marvin. It's stinking sad. Where is Fitzgerald Hines today? Anybody see Fitzgerald Hines? Anybody hearing anything about Fitzgerald Hines? The man who said, it is not my job to make all that safe. I wonder if he's safe where he is. Is he in Trinidad? Is he out of Trinidad? What about Renuka, who like to bump she gum on platform like the mouth can't close? Yum, 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 yum. Where is she today? Where is she today? It's sad. It's stinking sad to know these are the people that govern in our country. And Trinidad ain't benefit nothing. We ain't grow as much from A to B. But all I want to blame our party who was here for 5 years while you all was here for 10 years. Imagine. Call her good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yeah, Saeed, them was for 10 years, boy, to only raise bill and put property tax and do everything for the people in Trinidad and Tobago. Charge them. And we get good government, Kamala Prasad Visasa, very good government now, who running everything and they're raising no bill, they're raising nothing. But the people against you a chance, boy. They only digging she for 10%. She says she will pay, but like they want to hear she, boy. You know, understand? You have to give she a chance. The lady now come up, a lady, the empty treasury, the past government empty treasury. When they close down Carry Limited, why, how they fighting for CPEP, the PNM? Why they didn't fight for the Carry farmers, the cane farmers? They give the cane farmers nothing, the PNM. They put out over 5,000 or 9,000 cane farmers in the breadline. They never give them a cent, not 1 cent, not an inch of land they give them to go and plant a garden or something. But CPEP workers, they were CPEP, and they close down a big $1 billion company like Carry Limited, where all the poor people is to go and cut cane in the weekend with the children and everybody to get daily bread. That we have more thieving and killing in this country. When Carry the operating, it didn't to have them kind of things. You understand? Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, Marvin is a disgrace, boy. Watchman, it's shameful. It's very, very shameful. It's very, very shameful. But nevertheless, there's a saying that the old people used to say in Trinidad, dog eat your shame. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago. He further challenged Padarat to explain how the government intend to finance maintenance and rehabilitation work without a reform strategy or increase tariffs. Marvin, is not you had to worry about that. While you were in power, you stood on a platform. Marvin Gonzalez, the Minister of Public Utilities, stood on a platform and told the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that you will carry out your trial 1 time for the month. You will get macaroni pie 1 time for the month. How you PNM people feel? How you all feeling? Let me tell you something. I always say this. I am not affiliated with no side. Not PNM. Let me tell you something. I am not affiliated with any political party in Trinidad and Tobago. None. I use my own money to run this program, to educate the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago on the do's and the don'ts. What we supposed to be getting from the government. I run my own program from my own pocket, demanding betterment for the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. It doesn't matter. I don't care what political party you belong to. If you understand what your MP is supposed to be doing, your intellect will open. Your understanding will change. Your moral value, you will raise your standard. And you will demand a better community from your minister. But we have people who have one set of mouth and no brains. According to the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, we Trinbagonians are stupid. How many of you remember when Dr. Keith Rowley said that? How many? Call her good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Calling from Puna.
Welcome.
Saeed, you see why it is, I will tell you something. That the time has reached. But there where the PNM, there ought to be police investigation into the PNM. And I will tell you why. 1, with that CPEP issue. 2, with this issue now where I heard on the news tonight that is hundreds of millions of dollars is owing to MTS workers and they cannot pay them. The point I'm making this side, they squander the money and this government had to find any means necessary to want to have to pay these MTS workers. Now in addition to that, I want to ask you something, Said, based on that last thing you just talked about it with WASA and Marvin Gonzalez and the Public Utilities Minister Barry Padarat. Padarat said it's for the last 7 years. Notice was given to WASA to correct that problem with the Beta wastewater treatment plant. And now that this government is there, they have been threatened to deal with the situation or pay a fine of $35 million. Why didn't the EMA then come down on the PNM government?
Correct.
And make that demand then?
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, when you hear the chairman, speaking, Marvin Gonzalez, you just have to ask yourself why he didn't do it when he was there. Almost 100 days now, Marvin have moved from the Minister of Public Utility, where the PNM was governing, to the opposition. Now he is questioning Barry, where is he going to get the funds? When you don't want to increase our tariff. I was saying this. Marvin told you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, that your child may eat macaroni pie one time for the month. Begging or let to take 4%. Begging or let to take 4%. How much he got increased? Over 40%. That was our minister. All couldn't say nothing. All your tail went between all your leg and all your tongue went in the back of all your throat. All your tongue went in the back of all your throat. It couldn't yap. It couldn't yap. I for no political party, you know. And I'm standing very strong. You can't walk over me. You can't. Caller, good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. You have such a great program, and we must not forget the red, dangerous, destructive organization. That's what they did, you know, for the last 10 years. They destroyed this country so badly, it will take us years to recover, even by a small percentage. Anyway, Mr. Said, when you always say when you do good things, you must be praised in this country. And you will, of course, I always praise you for this great program you have, that you keep the citizen informed and you educate the citizen and so on. But tonight, I want to recognize somebody that people hardly recognize in this country, Mr. Ian Allen. You see that fella they call Mr. Ian Allen? He is a great soul, just as you are. And we had championed the cause when this fella, Benjamin, went out 18 murders over a weekend. 18 murders. You know what he came back and boasted about? He issued 300 fixed penalty tickets. So today, Mr. Allen, God bless him, just like God will bless you too, condemn the police service, Roger Alexander and Gavaro, for praising wrongdoing in this country. They praise police officer who issued 2,000 tickets, 1,400 tickets. That is wrongdoing. They commit crime against their fellow citizens, and more so this time of the year when parents have to buy uniform and books for their children. This is what you all did. You commit crime against your fellow citizens, and Roger Alexander and Gavaro giggle over that, you know. Gavaro is boasting he had 462 traffic offenses in this country. You know?
Yes, I saw it.
Over 17,000 tickets. Or you all could sleep in the night. This is what you all doing to your fellow citizens. And if you only say which crime they committed, I say, boy, ticket them. But you ticket your fellow citizens for not having the vehicle inspected, a seat, a blown light. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous, more than ridiculous. So I hope the Prime Minister is listening. I know they listen to your program. I hope she's listening and take some action. I hope she acts on this and suspend this ticket issue until maybe September when people spend the money and buy books and so on for the trend. Mr. Said, God will richly bless you for this program. We highlight all what's happening here today. Yes, now we highlighted it,
Yes.
So thank you for your program. God bless you, Mr. Said, and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. Now, I'll tell you something, Akola. You see that police officer who got that reward for issuing the most of that ticket? Let me tell you something. He will be dealt with by the public. By the public. His own friends may go against him. You understand? His own friends. And there and then he will realize what he did. He will realize that. I'll tell you something. Our police have power on their job here now. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago saw that gentleman receive an award because his face was published. And he is going to face the consequence from the public. So I am not worried about that. I am not. Look, I got a ticket, 3 demerit points. 2-lane heading north. 2-lane heading north. When you're on the right side, you could move to the left side, overtake, and then go back on the right side, according to how the traffic flow is. But I got a ticket for illegally overtaking on the left and the 2-lane heading north. But that dumb police officer will be served by the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago because someday, I'm going to tell you something. If I wasn't late for show that evening, I was going straight in the station and wait for that police to come in. Take what I'm telling all you know. I was going straight in the station and wait for that police officer to come in the station, call the senior, and ask the senior how the hell I got a ticket for illegally overtaking on the left. And trust me, if I didn't have to fly out within the 14 days time, I would have gone to court. And I would have asked the magistrate to let that dumb policeman explain to you, Your Honor, how I illegally overtake on the left by Price Plaza when the 2-lane heading north. Let me tell you something. I would have insulted and embarrassed that man right there. You see my mouth hot on TV? Trust me, off the camera is the same thing, no different. No different. I stand for my rights. That's one thing with Saeed. That's why people always say, you're seeing Saeed on TV here now and you're seeing Saeed in real, it's the same Saeed you're seeing. The same Saeed you're seeing. Caller, good night.
Very, very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
I just want to change the topic a little bit. I won't be long. This is troubling. This would be troubling to every citizen of Trinidad and Tobago.
Tell me.
So when you have to apply for a U.S. visa, apart from all the requirements and whatnot,
yes,
it costs you $1,100. And now the administration added another $250 US. So
yes.
that's $1,100. So that woke up to 28 or something there. TT. To apply for a visa, if you didn't get a visa, it's not refundable. What is very, very troubling is that this is what the administrator is planning to do. If you have your visa already, well, good for you. But if you don't, apart from paying that $2,800 to apply for a visa,
yes.
If you get through the visa, now you have to post a bond of $15,000 US.
Between 10 to 15,000, yes.
Right. So it means that if you go away and you hide, your bond could be forfeited. If you overstay, your bond could be forfeited. But Saeed, when you go to the bank, you're getting about $200 for travel to the US, which you can't do nothing with.
Correct.
Where people going to know that 15,000 US would walk up to 105,000.
Yes.
So a couple want to go away, they have to post a bond of 210,000.
Yes.
This is total madness, and this is going to crash the economy of the states because people wouldn't be able to travel again. So the restaurants, Disneyland, hotels, everything going and crumble. This is madness. All the best. Have a great evening, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Trump, I believe, is going to crash the U.S. economy. Take what I said earlier. It has already started. It has already started in the farming division, in the construction division, in the groceries. Let me tell you something. The U.S. is already dropping it is already dropping status-wise. But nevertheless, that's their problem there. I have visa, I could travel any part of the world. Even to Dubai, this is a home country. Call a good night.
Saeed, a pleasant good night.
To you, my dear.
Saeed, apparently the police service is going back to Burroughs days. Because when I saw this officer receiving
the award,
the great award for tickets, right? This is Burroughs doing.
Correct.
Because man had to give people bad case, and I don't care who want to deny it. Bad case, you get promotion in the police service under Burroughs.
That's a saying, yes.
God rest his soul, but he wasn't easy. You understand? And when they want to get rid of somebody, they used to say run. They let them go, and when they run, they shoot them. That was the operation of the police service back then.
Okay.
Who want to play ostrich and bury their head? And this is what I feel like they want to bring back. We're suffering too much in this country, and we're getting too much illegal tickets.
Correct.
Imagine senior citizens park, and they may parking around the police and saying, okay, you know, move your vehicle now, sir.
Correct.
You know, and park it somewhere else. And now they're jumping out the vehicle, writing tickets for senior citizens, porting some of them. They bring even 100 anymore, and man getting praise for that.
Yes.
Come now, man, all you. We have too much of things in this country. Crime on the rise. All you ain't doing that. Alexander was a police officer, and I find it dragging the foot on crime in this country, man. It's time all you do something. People dying every day.
Correct.
People being gunned down, Saeed.
Yes.
What's really going on? Where's the change? Tickets is the change? For people to pay what they don't have? People suffering, they can't make groceries, Saeed. People ain't get their increment for years. The roads in a mess. Your vehicle, and you have to find 300 to inspect your vehicle. On top of that ticket, and man getting praise, Saeed. This is utter rubbish. They better take back that certificate from me and send me to do some proper work in them hotspots area. Thank you, Saeed.
Thank you, my dear. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Padarat states vision for CPEP and URP. More when we return.
We'll be right back.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over, with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back to Real Talk. Remember viewers, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit, the highest interest rate in Trinidad and Tobago. Remember that. Remember that viewers, 5%. Minister of Public Utility Barry Patharat have stated that as government continues to review employment programs like CPEP and URP, it will not be business as usual. The minister said the new administration is taking a different approach after learning that criminal elements have infiltrated programs and are using them to fuel criminal activities.
And therefore, when you elected us on April 28th, you elected us to do things differently. And therefore, when some of you are saying to us, well, we want back the CPEP and we want back the URP and so on, you have to contextualize that. And contextualizing it means that if we go back down the same road as the PNM did by hiring friends, financiers, and family within these programs, you keep the criminals in there, then you have to continue living in these self-imposed jails because these contracts are fueling criminality and crime in the country.
So viewers, Patharat noted that the issue can no longer be ignored and explained that fixing the nation's crime problem is also requires of tackling the flow of funding to criminal network embedded in state program.
But the Commissioner of Police has said very frontally that the criminal elements in these programs are fueling the levels of crime that we are seeing across the length and breadth of this country.
Patharat also acknowledged that citizens are looking for jobs, but insisted the government plans must be grounded in sustainability, not short-term employment or political favorism. He revealed the discussions are already underway to reshape CPEP and URP into a transitional program that aligns with the country's long-term development goals.
Our vision for you is not for you and your children to cut and rake grass for the rest of their lives. It must be that we must create sustainable jobs in the spheres of agriculture, in the spheres of artificial intelligence, technology. It cannot be that we are myopic and we are telling you, well, we're happy that you all will just continue to do like the PNM and turn up in public meetings in your yellow jersey and then cut grass for 2 hours in the morning.
So viewers, like I said previously, I hope Patharat and his team can speed up the process with the URP and the CPEP program, because 11,000 people being out of job is a very serious concern Very, very serious concern. So we hope that they can speed up the process, and hopefully in September they can have something running for the 11,000 people that has been out of a job. That is my thing for September coming. But we'll wait and see. To other news, easing daily challenges of citizens remain a top priority for the government. In a recent interview, Minister of Public Administration Dominic Smith highlighted the government's commitment to rolling out e-government service aimed at making public service delivery more efficient and accessible. He explained that the goal is to ensure citizens feel the impact of this change in meaningful ways. Listen to this.
The goal of the government is therefore to ease the pain of the citizens, and so that's really what e-services are about. How do we allow persons to access information online? How do we reduce the level of pain that the society feels when they're doing, when they're engaging with public service? And I think that is the key concept behind any e-initiative.
So viewers, the minister revealed that the government has been pushing 3 main digital pillars aiming to transform the public service.
One is digital government, a digital society, and certainly a digital economy. And those are really the basics of how we're trying to transform both the public service. And when you think about the public service, it's both internal and external. So we have internal customers, you have the public servants who are working hard to improve the services and the efficiency within the public service. And then you have the external customers who are the man on the ground.
On Tuesday, iGov will launch an AI digital assistant. Minister Smith said this AI tool will be one of the first of many initiatives aiming to alleviate digital challenges.
Of let's say ICT in the past have always been on the background. Citizens aren't aware of how do they really benefit from this ministry. And I think it's really crucial when we talk about social contract. It's our responsibility that people feel included in that process. So this is the first of many AI initiatives. And I would say AI is a enabler, it's a tool, it is not replacement, it is an augmentation. So I'm very happy that this will be one of many to come in the coming year in 2025. So citizens, look out, good things coming.
So viewers, just before we go, I just want to highlight the officers of Mayaro CID. Operation consisting of drug block and bar raid on 31st of July 2025, which resulted in 8 persons arrested for various offenses, 14 suspected illegal immigrants detained. Let me tell you something. The Mayaro CID officers, they are doing a great job in the Mayaro area. Even the K9, this operation was coordinated by Senior Superintendent Paponet, supervised by Sergeant Mohammed and Corporal Jai Karan. So viewers, a lot is taking place in the Mayaro area with the Mayaro CID officers. Please cooperate with them. They are trying to clean up the illegal activities in the community. So we want to big up the officers from there. We have come to the end of our program for tonight, viewers, but nevertheless, we run up this tomorrow, 11:30 a.m., and we'll be back another night for another live show, Real Talk with Saieed. Until then, be safe.